the first time I had baby. All right. And I have worked with Dr. Brown ever since 1999.
So A, G, L, E, A.
I was feeling my genetics. Mr. White, you're still here. You know, that was very interesting. Very interesting. We appreciate your coming today. Who else am I missing? I think I got everybody from California. We got our Californites here. We have Washington and Maryland and Albany and Waterloo and Geneva and Rochester and Syracuse. Oh, where is everybody? Yes. We've had such a nice year. We really had a very, very exciting year, let's put it that way. And I hope that we can continue to grow and enjoy each other and find out more and more what has happened to Solomon, which is our number one aim. So, I'm giving back to Jamie.
I just want to mention one thing. It was great in 2008 was the 10th Solomon Northup celebration. We had a big birthday cake, 200 years celebration, and Dr. Brown presented, yes, Dr. Brown's up there, he presented my mother with a certificate of participation for all of our efforts over there. That was great. So next up on the microphone, oh wait.
Dr. Brown didn't fly me down here. I was on a train.
That's why she's the pioneer. She's very detailed. Thank you. Okay, they made me the dedicated microphone master, or whatever it's called. So right now, next up, I would like to introduce my daughter, Charysma Joy Adams. She is the great granddaughter of Solomon Northup from Alonzo Northup. And for the last 6 years, she's been playing the violin. And since 4th grade, 4 years. And she told me when she had the opportunity to pick which instrument that she wants to play, the various instruments that they had in her school, she told me, Dad, I would like to play the violin so I can honor Solomon Northup. And what she has done is amazing. The book, 12 Years a Slave, at the very end is a song called Roaring River that I'm assuming that Solomon played very much. She took it upon herself to learn this song on her spare time, learned it in 2 days, and for the first time would like to perform it. Well, not for the first time, she did several performances, but would like to perform the violin selection for you, the original Solomon Northup song, Roaring River. This is the sheet music from the book. I hope you enjoyed that musical selection. Next up, we have the great granddaughter of Solomon Northup. Her name is Maureen Veto, excuse me. She is going to give a presentation herself. Are you ready? All right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maureen Vettel. I am Solomon Northup's great-great-great-great-granddaughter. Solomon Northup was truly a strong man for all that he went through. And my presentation will be based on the descendancy of the genealogy of Solomon Northup and keeping the flame burning. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, Solomon Northup's father, Mrs. Northup, was born in 1780, 18 through 1829. Birthplace between, no, excuse me. Okay. Let me back up here. Okay. Solomon Northup's father My great-great-great-great-grandfather was 1780 through 1829. Birthplace somewhere between 1772 through 1780. Lord Jesus, forgive me, just turn to here. In North Kingston, Rhode Island. Death November 22nd, 1829, Hudson Falls. Mentis was born into slavery, then freed, and kept his served master's name after he was freed. Mentis married Susanna Northup, a free woman, birth unknown, death 1846, Oswego, New York. Susanna was considered to be a quadroon. Oh Lord. I'm nervous. Which means she could be passed for white. I know I'm nervous. Mentis and Susanna had two sons, Solomon and Joseph Northup. Mentis made sure they had the best education, which was considered high quality for black people. Mentis was a successful farmer owning his own land. Solomon Northup was born July 10, 1808, in Minerva, New York. Death still unknown today. Solomon married Ann Hampton, December 25, 1829. Ann was considered to be a mixed race, African, European, and Native American. Solomon and Ann had three children, Elizabeth, Margaret, and Alonzo. Okay. Solomon worked as a violinist, a hack driver, carpenter, and farmer, known for his 12 years a slave and author. An activist of slavery, 12 years of unstoppable and not wanting to give up. Even though they named him Platt, he always knew that his name was Solomon. Alonzo, which is directly through us, our genealogy. Alonzo Northup, birth between 1828 1837, July 15th. Death, October 17th, 1909. Alonzo married Caroline Victoria Northup, October 15, 1865. Her birth, 1843. Alonzo and Caroline had 10 children. And 1868, Caroline, 1871, Alonzo, 1872, Rosa, 1874, Florence, 1876, Stella, 1877, Murdy, 1879, John H., 1883, Frank, 1885, Lottie, 1886. Alonzo served in the military, the 26th Infantry Regiment, USCT. This is why Solomon's last name has changed from Northup to Northup as today. John Henry, born July 27, 1883. John married Agnes Parker, 1906, in Auburn, New York. Her birth, 1883. John and Agnes had 3 children, Victoria, Henry, and Robert. After the passing of his wife Agnes, John's second union to Elsie Mae. John and Elsie Mae had 4 children, John C., Lois Irene, Raymond H., and Donald D. John Henry, Zip, played in the Negro Baseball League. One team was named the Cuban Giants. Played positions pitcher, outfield, center, and right. Because of his career, he traveled. Victoria Northup, born 1909, Auburn, death 2007 in California. Married Minor Lindsay between 1925, 1927. Victoria and Minor had 9 children. And on the color chart, I had placed for John Henry's children that he had with Elsie in blue. And for Victoria's children, his sister, John Henry C's sister, Victoria, her children were placed in color code as well. Alice Lindsay, her children are and Agnes Lindsay, Laura Lindsay, Joseph Lindsay, Carol Lindsay, Richard Lindsay, Sharon Lindsay, Cheryl Lindsay, Kathleen Lindsay. Her occupation was a cook and laboring for different several jobs. I would like the descendants of Solomon Northup to please stand. Here we have John Henry and Elsie's children, which I have stated in blue. John Henry and Victoria's, John Henry and Agnes and Victoria's other children, their children in color code, which I have stated here. All right. We are the heritage of Solomon Northup. We are one tree that has many, many branches. We all come from one roof. Our goal is to continue to spread his story to the world. We are the carriers of Solomon's voice. Thank you and God bless you all. And I just want to ask that as a family, that we continue to look for information, share information, because the more information we find out, the more information can be presented to families, and the things that we don't know, we will continue to know and pass on to our children.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you very much. To my understanding, we have a special presenter today as well, coming all the way from California, flew in. My cousin, Evelyn Jackson.
Hi, as he says, my name is Evelyn Jackson, and most of my family is here from the East Coast, and I wanted so much to be a part of everything coming from California, and it's been my greatest desire to do something for Solomon Northup's legacy. It was through AARP, Movies for Grown-Ups. And so we saw and afterwards there was a question and answer period with cast members. And I had last year's Solomon Northup t-shirt on, and I said, oh, I wanted Steve McQueen to know who I was. I wanted the cast to know who I was. You know, I'm here in California. So I went down to greet them, and they were leaving so abruptly. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I cornered Steve McQueen. I went to him, I said, I'm a great-great-granddaughter of Solomon Northup. And he smiled, and he hugged me. I was like, oh, I did it. Next thing I knew, he gave me the microphone, and he said, tell everybody here what you told me. Tell everyone what you said. I thought, oh my goodness. So I told everyone who I was and how excited I was about the movie. And that's my grandmother. I told her how excited I was about the movie and everything. And next thing I know, I was on YouTube. So I'm like, oh. And every time she came to California, she was telling us about Solomon Northup, and I wanted to go so bad. That's why I decided that I would do a family tree with her. And I did a tree for her because I asked her, Grandma, how many kids, grands, how many is in your dollar? She didn't know. But out of curiosity, I wanted to know. So I did a tree in 2004, and I came out, I can't remember then how many it was, but it was like, I renewed it in 2013. And when I renewed it, it came out to be like 253 descendants. Wow. So, you know, but most of my people, like I told you, live in the East Coast. So I was able to put the names with the faces from Facebook. So it made me feel like I was closer to my family. You know, I felt closer to my family. So after I met Steve McQueen the first time, I met him the second time through the photo shoot that we did for the East Coast and the West Coast photo shoot. And he recognized me. I was like, woohoo! So after that, you know, I got an invitation to give Steve McQueen. I was supposed to co-present with Lupita to give Steve McQueen an award for best movies through the AARP for Movies for Grown-Ups. You know, so I went up on stage, and my son said I had a fixed grin on my face, a frozen grin. I couldn't stop smiling at Lupita. It's so awesome in my eyes. So I said, oh, woo, woo, woo. So the next thing that happened to me when I was home, right before I went to church, I got a phone call inviting me to go to Louisiana to go to the tours. Edna Smith, who's a historian and researcher who helped write her book, gather information, invited me and my sister to go there. This is where I met the descendants of Solomon Bass, and I fell in love with Carol and her daughter. I wanted to put Carol in the suitcase and take her home with me. So I met her. I met you there too. I met her there. I met the Forrest descendant. I met the mayors of Louisiana, and to my surprise, I took books. I wanted signatures from everyone that would meet there. And to my surprise, they were asking me for my autograph. My sister and I signed so many books, we didn't get a chance to talk. We were just I was in awe. So this is the plaque. As the Solomon Northup descendants from the Louisiana, it was an orchestra, a special orchestra dedicated to Sue Eakin. The songs were meant for Solomon Northup. The songs were so because I think we all should be able to share it. Yeah. So now I've been invited to go to the Solomon Northup Trails. It's going to be on October 18th. And if you go online to arcadiahistorical.org, you will see what's entailed for the tour. You'll see all the plantations, you'll see Shaw's plantation, Ford plantation, you see the stores, you see where Solomon walked. And it is so impressive to me. I want to try to make it. I want all my family to try to make it so we can go together. They're going to do a recreation of the trial there. The judge from Marksville, Louisiana, he said that he's going to have a trial there, and they have the notes from John Weldell, the attorney, and they're going to recreate the trial. So that's going to be awesome. I want to be there. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. And in conclusion, I want to say that our tree is growing, growing, growing. Solomon had 3 children, so it's room for many, many more descendants to come. And we're all together as one big family. It's my prayer to see that it all come true and it will manifest.
Okay, next up, as a descendant of Solomon Northup, we have another great-to-great-to-great-to-granddaughter. Her name is Vera Williams. I'm getting all these names mixed up here. Vera Williams is the founder and president of the Solomon Northup Foundation. Please welcome Vera Williams.
Thank you, Clayton. Excuse me, Jamie. I've known him since he was real little. He was Jamie then, he's still Jamie today. I just wanted to take a moment to, I kind of want to just take a moment to explain why, or share with you, not explain, but to share with you why I decided to create the Solomon Northup Foundation. Listening to the stories today from the speakers who've done so much research, from the actress who was in the movie and the impact, speaking with many of the descendants, who I love you all so very much. With the elders, my Auntie Carol, who was up here, speaking with my mother, my grandmother. You know, we've got so much information to share. And based on the response that we've received from various speaking engagements that we've done, I knew that there's more that the public wants to know about Solomon Northup, and also there's more information that we're trying to uncover about Solomon Northup and to share that. And probably mostly important, well, okay, not mostly yet, not yet, but also just as important, lending the name of Solomon Northup to various activities and programs that are working on ending the plight of human trafficking. And also, there's other activities that are going on that the Solomon Northup Foundation and other family members have been involved in, where we've lent the name of the Solomon Northup as a group towards those programs, and it helps to raise the awareness of those programs. And I could go on and on talking about all of these things. But the main thing I wanted to tell you was the mission of the Solomon Northup Foundation is to keep the flame burning. That is our motto, keep the flame burning, and to do that is through awareness and research. We also, as I mentioned, want to lend our name towards the effort of ending human trafficking. And as a couple of individuals have said, you know, it's just so key to find out what was the true fate and what really happened to Solomon Northup. And to do all this, to change, one of the things that Clayton has been doing, as well as myself, we've been going out and we've been speaking and raising the awareness, and Clayton's been in the schools. And as you know, the history books don't tell the whole story. They don't tell the whole story, and the history books need to be set straight about what really happened, not only to Solomon Northup, but to that whole era that no one really talks about. You know, African Americans who were free individuals, there were free, affluent African Americans during that time frame that the history books never talked to us about. Didn't tell me about it when I was growing up, but there's so much that needs to be set straight. And so, again, all of these things were reasons that I felt like it was just so important to put together the Solomon Northup Foundation and to raise money so that we could do some of these things, so that through the foundation and getting donations, we can work on speaking engagements, we can work on educational opportunities to help educate other individuals, and if nothing else, begin to move history towards where it really should be and to represent how African Americans really did contribute to the infrastructure that built this country. Those type of things were not told to us. It was just told to us that we were slaves. And that was it. So that was one of the main reasons that I was prompted to work on the Solomon Northup Foundation. My cousin here, Clayton, is a part of the Solomon Northup Foundation, who does speaking engagements with me. One of the things that we did that was really exciting, and we wrote a blog about it later on, we walked in Solomon Northup's footsteps in Washington, D.C. As you're aware from the book and from the movie, Solomon Northup had a very huge impact in his life in Washington, D.C. That's where it happened. He visited several sites in Washington, D.C., and while he was there, we decided to go to those sites today, and it was, wow, just blew us away when we went to those sites because, I mean, the hotel that he stayed at, the restaurant that he ate at, the William Slave Pen that he was put at, I mean, all these things, we walked in his footsteps, and it was so emotional for us. And we ended the day at the Capitol, which is where he looked out of his the William Slave Pen out the window, so he saw the Capitol and he knew that he was still in Washington, D.C., you know, so just walking in his footsteps. And one of the things that was really kind of interesting about walking in his footsteps, the William Slave Pen, the site of the William Slave Pen today is the site of the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, and I worked there for 2.5 years. Had no clue what had happened many, many years before. So again, raising the awareness and talking about, you know, what's the backstory and helping people be more educated about the backstory. And last of all, I surely can't forget to give a shout out to my son Justin, who's upstairs, who's been manning our exhibit table, selling Solomon Northup t-shirts, you know, and books as well. He's been upstairs very diligently working on that, so I want to take a moment to give him a shout out. And again, finally, to thank everybody who came out today for coming out and being interested and to help us keep the flame burning. Where is she? Next up, another descendant of Solomon Northup. I am a great-great-great-granddaughter, and this individual is also a great-great-great-granddaughter of Solomon Northup. And you've kind of maybe heard reference to her by a couple of the speakers, but I want you to introduce you to her and for you to meet Melissa Howell.
So, I just want to say thank you for everyone for coming. I think in today's reflection, I'd like to look at everyone here as being a part of our family. We're not strangers today. I think that in reflection, there are so many of us that are alike. And I think that if we take the perspective of looking at the commonalities we have and yet appreciating our diversity, I think that that in itself makes us a whole. So I think that family resonates today, a living legacy, not just in here to celebrate Solomon Northup Day and his life and family, but all of us have a legacy. And even though those others may go without a major motion picture or a book, I think that you need to take appreciation in being who you are and your family's roots, because as said earlier, I think that resonates with knowing where your home is. So before I linger too much, I also would like to just share with you some words of thank you from Director Steve McQueen. In collaborating with Skidmore this year, which has truly been enjoyable to do so, I reached out to a number of individuals ascertaining their interest in being part of the program today. And there are a great many who showed their interest and stepped forward immediately. And however, some of them are here today, would be here probably for several days if all of us could have every individual who has somehow been a part of the story or contributed in some way. So I'll briefly read this to you and on to my tribute to Solomon. Dear friends, first of all, I am sorry I cannot be with you today, but what a year it's been for Solomon Northup. Not just the fact that 12 Years a Slave won the Best Picture award at the Oscars, and Solomon's name is now known worldwide, but in September, the book and the DVD will be in every school library in America. This is a testimony not just to the film, but also to the strength and command of Solomon's story. Today, not only you are remembering Solomon's freedom from slavery, but you are sharing it with millions of people throughout the world. I would like to thank you, Solomon's family, for your support of the film. What I noticed when I met some of you and saw photographs was that you were all colors, shapes, and sizes. This, for me, was the true identity of America, and you represented the idea of freedom, justice, and solidarity. Thank you for keeping a flame of freedom alive through your ancestor, Solomon Northup. Much love, Steve McQueen. Today's program has been a reflection, not only a personal one for descendants, but that of art, literature, and music. They feed the soul. Today's program casts a light of reflection on a life that is anything but forgotten. As we continue to feed not only the soul, but our legacy, let us take this soul dust and begin again. What I'd like to do is to reflect by reciting a poem that was written with inspiration of Solomon by former poet laureate Rita Dove. It is entitled The Abduction. The bells, the cannons, the house is black with crape, all for the great Harrison. The citizenry of Washington clotted the avenue, I among them, Solomon Northup from Saratoga Springs, free papers in my pocket, violin under my arm, my new friends, Brown and Hamilton, by my side. Why should I have doubted them? The wages were good. While Brown's tall hat collected pennies at the tent flap, Hamilton's feet did a jig on a tightrope. Pigs squealed invisibly from the bleachers, and I fiddled. I remember how the windows rattled with each report, then the wine, like a pink lake, tipped. I was lifted. The sky swiveled, clicked into place. I floated on water I could not drink. Though the pillow was stone, I climbed the ladders in that sleep. I woke and found myself alone, in darkness and in chains. This scene in the movie, in actuality, is located in the Northern Virginia Urban League building in Alexandria, Virginia, called Freedom House. And I would encourage everyone to go and visit. There are elements of the original structure there, and it is a very artistic and direct and all-encompassing perspective, I think, in terms of Solomon having been there. And if you're looking for a connection or looking to just ponder the thoughts of what it must have been like, I would encourage you to go. There are, as we know, many sites that one can view and retrace the footprints of Solomon and to connect with our ancestor. And in so doing, certainly this year, this last year, 12 months, has been extraordinary. And for me, it was, for myself, something that I wanted to do, that I needed to feed my soul with. And through that, have connected with family members from the West Coast, and here in New York as well. And it's not solely based on the efforts of the film. I think that there is within all of us a sense of wanting to connect. But it does take time, it takes nurturing, and it will come. So in tribute to Solomon, today, and our family, who, as I said, we all are a piece of a living legacy, I have pieced together a video to show you, which I believe the essence of Solomon, and it's entitled A Libation.
Hello?